What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the J-Rock Show here from the SimWorld TV studios here in Houston, Texas. I am your host, as always, Jason J.K. Candell. I've really been loved doing this show, and it doesn't matter that we got the Last Dance going on right now. We got plenty of SimWorld prep, SimWorld U action on right now. That doesn't matter. I'm very appreciative of this guest finding the time to talk to me. I had B-Ron last week to give coaches the extra prep time, but this time we got Coach Braden Barry of the Scorchers here in studio with me. Coach Barry, it is great to have you here. Been a long time coming, ready to get into some SimWorld prep and SimWorld U action with you on this episode.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I've been looking forward to being on this show. I've been watching you for a while. Just excited to be here.
Oh man, tell me about it. I kind of think in advance who I want to have on for a certain episode, and you were someone I've been wanting to have on for a couple of weeks, a couple of months now, and we just now made it happen. So I'm just excited to be here just as much as you are. Everybody knows I got my start in the prep game. I talk a little bit of both. I like to walk that tightrope. And let's start with some SimWorld U action, right?
Yeah, right.
Let's start with the J-Rock Performer of the Week. We do them every week. And this time, it should not be a surprise to anybody. Number 2 Duke knocks off Louisville, and it's in large part due to the efforts of Cooper Flagg. 30 burger, 31 points for Cooper Flagg, 14 of 16 from the floor. The freshman plays with a maturity and an athleticism beyond his years. We called him in prep the basketball cyborg last season. I know he gave you prep coaches an absolute fit last year, and now he's giving SimWorld U coaches the same fit.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He found his little niche. The same, like I don't think he never even had to find it. He just found his groove, and he's just unstoppable.
Yeah, it's Cooper Flagg. I think people really forget what he's capable of, Coach Barry, because you got guys like Cooper Kingy Cross, Lamarian Sherwood, Jamison Johnson, who are going to be eligible for the 2025 SWBA draft. Cooper Flagg isn't. So I think he's a freshman. He's 18 years old. He's got another year in college. Just think about what more he can accomplish in another year under John Shire's tutelage at Duke. It's been so much fun to watch.
Yeah, most likely with him not being eligible, his game's gonna keep elevating and elevating. I'm looking forward to seeing him when he is eligible.
Undoubtedly number 1 pick in the 2026 draft, right? I don't see anybody really coming close.
Nobody's topping that. Yeah, nobody's gonna. Yeah, he's going number 1 regardless.
I would say the only person that could give him a bit of a push for that is Justin Bell with Villanova, because they've had a really good year. Justin Bell has really come into his own after some good years with the Rocky Mountain Monsters at SimWorld Prep, and Justin Bell just is a guy that just knows how to get buckets, and I think guys are going to love that kind of two-way guy that Justin Bell brings.
Yeah, you killing me with that name. You know, he gave me problems last season with Rocky Mountain, just like this season. But you're right.
Oh, Justin Bell has become one of my favorite players in all of college. He's a guy I always loves talking to me when I get the chance, and he plays with. If we're talking about guys that play with confidence, Cooper Flagg has always been the best on the floor, but Justin Bell's had to fight for that, and Kyle Neptune and Villanova have had such a phenomenal turnaround from a season ago because of a guy like Justin Bell, and that's kind of a testament to your program can be built through the recruits you bring in. And on the topic of Cooper Flagg, let's talk about that Naismith Player of the Year race. The 10 finalists came out earlier this week, and we got some good ones. Jamison Johnson, we got DJ Wagner, Madison Miles, Flagg, Lamarian Sherwood, Cooper Kingy Cross, Nat Hawkins, Travion Novick.
Okay.
There's I believe 2 more that I'm missing. Dante Walker.
Dante Walker. That's right. What's the last one? Hold on.
There's one more, but that's 9 of the 10.
Yeah, brain fart on that one. That's all.
But before we talk really dive deep into the race itself, is there anybody you feel was snubbed from that final 10?
Everybody I feel was snubbed from what I've been watching. I mean, that's the list. That's the list. I do like that list. I kind of like, it's like I'm sure you probably see me in the media feeds like that. Like I'm a heavy advocate for the underdogs. Like I like can't think of his name right now. It was JK.
No worries, man. We all
To
brain
my
farts. We all have them. Walker, Hawkins, and Novik were the guys that I called the long shots.
Mhm.
Was it Madison Miles? Oh,
That
Jalen
man dropped
Snow. It was
down.
Jalen Snow.
No, that's the one right there. Yep, that's the one right there. It was
How
Snow.
did I forget the snowman? Everybody knows I love the snowman.
Couldn't think of his name. Yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is.
Who doesn't love the snowman, Coach Barry? I know you're a Washington guy, but UCLA's got a bucket.
Yeah, yeah. You can't deny that. Like I know I might be partial to Washington, but I'm still. I don't. I give credit where credit's due.
Yeah. But like we said, we were talking about the snubs here, and the two that kind of stood out to me, Donald Lafetti. I was really surprised to kind of see him omitted from a list like this. He's had a really good year. He's been big in the Minnesota turnaround from a season
Yeah.
ago. So I was kind of surprised to not see him get that love. Trey
Mm-hmm.
Turner
And that
probably,
Minnesota had some big wins too, didn't they?
yeah, they're atop the
Yeah.
Big Ten right now.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that? I did not expect that going into the season. I thought that this was the year of the Terrapin, and I mean
Mm-hmm.
Maryland beat them the other day, so maybe I can feel a little bit vindicated in that. But but
Oh man, yes.
Justin Bell was the other guy I thought was the snub here. He's a freshman. He's having just as good of a year as Cooper Flagg, and I don't really feel like it's going very unnoticed.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you, Brendan. He should. I guess he feel like he got snubbed. He should have been. He should have been in that talk.
Like that top 10, absolutely. I would say Dante Walker has no business being up there. He had a great start to the year, but as soon as ACC play hit, I don't know what happened to the guy. He just up and
So,
disappeared. This isn't a half season award. It's why I don't think Lamarian Sherwood's going to win it.
that. Isn't that normally what happens? Like after a certain week hits, and like a lot of the ones that are at the top, they start to fall off or disappear a little bit.
Yeah. I really get what you're saying, man, because I hate those 1 week wonders. Like I'm sure we see Trey Turner on this list. If Tennessee's any better than what they are right now, probably same goes for Jermaine McElmore in Miami, but that is not the case. Both those teams are kind of fighting near the bottom of the
Yeah.
Hoops area projected field of 68.
Ooh, man,
But
man.
how the mighty have fallen, right, man?
Right. But that's tube stereo for you. That's why I love it. You never know.
Anything can happen on any given
Yeah.
day. That's the fun of it, like you
Mhm.
mentioned. But
Yeah.
Coach Barry, we talked a little bit about that race. Who, in your eyes, is that Naismith Player of the Year favorite? There's a lot of good options.
Yeah. If I had to choose Naismith Player of the Year, I mean, I know the obvious pick is gonna be Flag, right? But you know me, I don't like to pick what everybody else be want to choose. So I'm just gonna just throw it out there. I'm gonna say DJ Wagner.
Really? You're a DJ Wagner
I'm gonna
guy. Having a really good
say
year.
DJ. Yeah, I would say DJ Wagner. I was like, you should know, JK. I don't like to be with the group. I like to be my own person.
Of course. I actually thought CKC was the favorite for so long. It was either CKC or Sherwood, and then it's really just been Cooper Flag completely out of the gates for me over the last couple of weeks, couple of months. At this point, I'm all in on Cooper Flag to win it. He's a freshman. He's
Mhm.
the best player on one of the best teams in the country. Don't really feel like you can do much better than that. I think it's Flag. You said you mentioned DJ Wagner. My
Yeah.
underrated pick for Naismith Player of the Year, Jalen Snow. He's averaging 21 points
Oh
a
yeah.
game on 50, 40, 85 splits for the number 11 team in the country. And he's got Gerald
Oh
Carroll taking touches from him. He can very well be a 25 point per game scorer.
yes. Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
Everybody knows I love the Snowman. I think he's a top 5 pick in this draft, and I think when it really comes down to it, he's a more gifted individual offensive player than Cooper King and Cross. But I don't think people are really ready for that conversation just yet. Jalen Snow, he's had some off games lately. UCLA's in a bit of a skid. They've lost back to back, but Jalen Snow is still as talented as they come. UCLA is going to be fine. And if we're really
Yeah.
talking about teams I don't want to face in Hoopsteria, UCLA
UCLA.
as a 2 seed or a 3 seed. Oh no.
That's scary. They are scary.
They can shoot you out the gym, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like those teams. Well, I do like those teams that can shoot their way out of anything. And that's what UCLA is. They're potent on off. They're potent on offense. They got
Mm-hmm.
Gerald Carroll, sharpshooter. Jalen Snow, he's shooting 45% from deep. They got Mick
Yes.
Cronin, one of the best coaches in the country. I don't really know how they're like. I don't know how many teams in the country I feel confident in can take them down. Like Arkansas is good. I think I trust Jalen Snow more than DJ Wagner 10 times out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right about that. You're right about that.
It's hard for me to trust some of these teams. Like I don't like Tennessee is like I think they're a 12 seed right now. Tennessee,
Mm,
I think they
yeah.
can win a couple games, but even then, like they're a one man show. That's why Trey Turner is not even on this list to begin with. This Naismith list.
Because like you gotta do too much if it's just you over there. If it's just you over there doing all the work, it's just that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's not fun. Like
Yeah.
we've seen so many guys do it. Like I'm sure Nat Hawkins, where he another nominee for this final 10. His back must hurt. It's him and Jarrell Beauchamp. And then they just have Keontae Smythe man in the middle. They don't have enough to be elite, and that's why I don't think Nat Hawkins has enough of a Naismith resume. Sorry, Siege. I know he's your boy, but he's not my boy.
Mm.
Are you a Madison Miles guy by chance? Are you?
No, not really. I'm not really. I'm not really. I think I was like, oh yeah, go ahead, shoot the messenger now. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not really a fan of him.
I get it. He had a rough start to the year. Kansas been so inconsistent, but they're hitting their stride at the right time of the year. Them and Texas are really fun in the Big 12 race. But the very surprising thing was if you read my Wednesday article was I said that I don't think that Lamarian Sherwood's a very likely Naismith winner now. He has been out since February.
Mhm.
He's reaching that month mark of being out. I don't think you can really give it to him because I said it. Availability is the best ability. He was having the best
Right.
year, but I was falling off a cliff without him, and I can't, in my good conscience, waste a vote on a guy who's missed too much time when we know how dominant he is. But when you're missing time like that, that's time for a guy
Yeah.
like Cooper Flag or CKC to
To
kind of
come
come
in there.
back
To
in that
come
race. Yeah,
in.
come in to sweep the
Yep.
award. I actually thought it was
Yep.
CKC over Sherwood anyway, because Sherwood's got more help.
Mhm. Yeah,
CKC's
he
got
does.
no one. CKC's a one man show. That's
Hmm.
that's why I think he does have a bit of an argument over a guy like Cooper Flag, because Cooper Flag got Jeremiah Minor, Roderick Little, Big Vic. CKC is the only pro guy on that team. And Coach Barry, it's not an episode of the J Rock Show if I'm not asking you questions. I'm sure you already know that. I'm sure you've heard some of the questions that I've asked guys like Coach Pope and
Yeah.
Coach Drayton. But I want to
Yeah.
kind of start with the heavy hitter here. You took over for Isaiah Pope in the middle of last season after that little gambling scandal that took over SimWorld Prep. like quite
Yeah.
the abrupt change for you, quite the entrance to SimWorld Prep. But like, what were the learning lessons for you through that, and can you kind of walk me through what it was like to be a newcomer, joining a program through such a scandal, and trying to earn the trust of that locker room, a very talented locker room at that?
It was like taking over in the middle of the season like that, JK. It was a surprise, of course, but hey, I was like, when you're an assistant, like you always gotta be ready to step up whenever you're called. You know. So it taught me, for one, always be ready for the inevitable. Two, like when like I was like, as an assistant, you're already starting to build the trust and that chemistry with the players already as an assistant, because you're doing basically what I see an assistant. You're doing the head coach's quote unquote dirty work, right? You're
Yeah,
doing the work that the head coach doesn't want to do. So,
yeah,
the guys already knew me. They knew me a lot. We came in there. We started out really well. I just had to come in and just finish it. Which when we had the divisions, we did ended up winning the Neo. So I was pretty much,
yeah,
guys, like I could have just took over, right, and just said, okay, I'm not gonna do this, and just kind of just coasted. I didn't coast. I said, no, we're gonna finish out strong, and I told them that. That's the first thing I told them. We're gonna continue, and we're gonna finish out strong. Period.
yeah. And obviously, you took over in not the best of circumstances. How did you really find out about what went down with Coach Pope?
It was more the SimWorld headquarters. They reached out to me, said that's when I really found out about it. Then before, like, they swore me not to talk about it while the investigation was going on. So, like, just finding out about it's discouraging, and then kind of shed us in a bad light. And then, so, like, having to that's what fuels me, having that history. That's what fuels me to not not have her go back to that, but be known as an organization with integrity, doing the right thing when nobody's looking, integrity, trust, leadership, positive attitude. To sure you guys see me out there, I'm always positive, no matter what, win, loss, draw. I stay positive.
Yes, and that was actually leads right into my next question. You and I spoke a little bit before the cameras turned on for this episode about the early exits in back-to-back seasons for you guys, in the first in the Run to One, now in the Last Dance. And it's been a tough pill to swallow. We've seen some coaches not handle it so great. We've seen Coach Simpson have some issues taking the loss to heart. He's gotten fired now. And then there's you, who just called it a very successful season anyway. So just tell me more about your coaching philosophy and what really defines a successful season to you outside of wins and
It's like,
losses.
to me, coaching is more. It's more about the wins. It's more about the wins. To me, it's more about, like we said, we spoke before the cameras came on. More about the banners. It's all about, the progression, and seeing your kids make it to the next level. I think right now, it's like, if my memory serves me correctly, I think I had the most players going to SWU. I got five. I got five, and they're all going to really good schools. All, like, if I remember, all five of them also got main roles. That's the goal. That's the goal. I
Yeah.
got three current players that are still on my roster returning. Three of those got new offers this season. Now it's like, and then I'm fully recruited for next season. My team we're Scorchers. We're full for next season. To me, that's a success. My players going to the next level. I got current players getting offers now, and I got all my replacements already done. I'm done. We ready to rock and roll for next season. That's a
Yes.
that's a success.
I get that. Like, it's like a Coach Drayton, where maybe your guys may not have the biggest roles because your rotation's so deep at this level. You just want to set them up for success at the next level and give them chances to succeed and play in a winning culture and play for a coach who believes in them. Very admirable. And Coach Barry, this leads me into my final question with you. We talked a lot about prep and your guys and your players, but we've seen a lot of coaches make the jump to college. We've already seen Coach Drayton do it. I'm sure we're going to see Coach Pope, Brad Lee, Kusa, some guys. make the jump to follow probably Munch Williams as well. So I know you're a big Washington guy. You went there. You are very vocal about your Washington fandom, and they have not had a good year. Danny Sprinkle, year one of Danny Sprinkle has not been that great. So would you consider making the jump to SimWorld U, whether it be at Washington or somewhere else, or how would you kind of go through the process of potentially making that jump, or would it only be for Washington?
I'm 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 heartfelt on Washington. As you said, that's my alma mater. Not only is that my alma mater, that's my home. That's my home. That's my home state. I'm born and raised from Seattle, so I see what's going on with that team, and to what from somebody that's that's born and bred from there, and an alumni. I see that they not having they not it's like they not having fun. Like the heart right there, you can tell when you watch Washington play, they're not having fun. The heart's gone. Like they got to get refill them up, go back to having fun. Can you go back to having fun? I promise you them wins will come.
Yeah, and they got guys on that team. Tyshawn McGrady is actually a guy I really like. It's
Former
not that
player.
there's not talented. It's just that they
Mm-hmm.
need some more direction. And you're a guy who knows what that fan base wants, knows what that program wants, and
Mm-hmm.
you've been around it before. You grew up in Seattle, so if anyone can handle the
Yep.
pressure, I think it's you. Or would you? But would you take any other jobs, or is it, or would you like, or would you just want to stay on the West Coast? Would you want to stay close to where you
I
are?
definitely I'm open. I mean, Washington is first choice always. Like, and I've already, I'm very open with my team. We have conversations. I told them they already know. They know that like, hey, if Washington come calling. I was like, it's nothing against you guys. I even told the ownership group if they come calling, they're aware that I wanna be back home. They're aware that I'm open and honest. They know, and I feel like that's why my ownership group loves me so much. They love like they are positive, open and honest. Who doesn't like that upfront? And it's like, hey, he told us you're not gonna get blindsided. This is what it is. But yeah, Washington is what I want. I'm not open to nobody else. I want Washington. If I don't get it this season, I will keep striving and keep showing what I can do until I do get it.
I'll be honest, it would be really funny to see you if like Washington State offered you their coaching job. I think that would be so funny.
What's crazy is like if that was to happen, JK, I would just to get my name out there, being back in Washington, just to get on like that. But if once the Huskies come calling, and that's it, done deal. I'm going home.
It's like the Coach Skinny paradox where will he ever coach at Louisville? Probably not, because Pat Kelsey's done a great job there. So maybe he'll coach a rival, and that's what's so captivating about this. But that's gonna do it for this episode of the J Rock Show. Coach Barry, you were a great guest. It was great having you on. We had some great laughs in this episode. I'll be honest, we had a lot of them, more than I usually do on these episodes. So you're more than welcome to come back anytime. I really hope I get to have you back on the show again. And for the ladies and gentlemen at home, remember, folks, SimWorld, the only place you can see the game, be the game. Have a great week, and remember, keep checking out what we're doing here in SimWorld, whether it's articles, podcast shows, we got it all. So don't forget about that. And from Coach Barry and I, have a great week.